Hello, Ruth here. As always, I'm going to show you today how to process your own black and white film. Now, film's not quite dead, as anyone who's used a Lomo camera will tell you, and there's nothing quite so satisfactory as processing your own film to get a lovely set of negs, which you can then make prints from. Now, today we're going to process this exposed black and white 400 speed film. What we're going to do is going to pop it open, just like a beer, reel it onto this reel here, put it in a tank, pour some chemicals on, and Bob's your uncle. But unfortunately, we have to do this all in the pitch black. Now, there are two ways of doing this. Either you can turn off all the lights, or you can use one of these light baffling bags. It's got a couple of armholes, so you can grope around in there. Now, obviously, it's not very interesting watching me grope around in a black bag. So, in true Blue Peter style, I've got some dummy film here, so I can show you exactly what you want to do. Now, you put all your bits that you need in your bag. You need your tank, you need your reel, you need the tank lid, you need one of these film canister openers to pop it open. You'll need some scissors, and of course you'll need your film yourself. Now, you put that all in the bag, you pop open the top like so, all the film spills out, and then what you want to do is you'll find a tapered end on the end of the film, which is called the leader. You want to snip that off nice and straight. Then when you feel your way around the reel, you'll find two ball bearings on either side of it, and kind of bits that come out a little bit further. Now, you hook your film in there. Make sure it goes in and it's nice and tight. Then once it's in over the ball bearings, you want to do this kind of action, and that will reel all the film into the reel. Then when you get to the end of it, you'll find the spool still on. All you do is snip that off and reel the remainder in there. Then when all your film is reeled onto the reel, you take your tank, you pop it in, it's nice and secure. There it is there. Put on the lid, make sure it's locked straight into place, doesn't fall out, turn it upside down to make sure, and then it's ready for the next stage. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and get my film ready, and I'll see you at step 2. Now, for the next stage, you're going to need 3 chemicals: developer, stop bath, and fixer. Now, these have been pre-diluted by me according to the instructions on the side of the bottle or on the packet. So they're all ready to go, and I'm going to put them in one by one and swish them around for a certain amount of time. Now, I'm using Ilford HP5 400 speed. Now, I've looked on digitaltruth.com and I can see that it needs 7.5 minutes in contact with developer, which is what I'm going to do now. Now, just as a general guideline, your chemicals need to be about 20 degrees in temperature. I like them personally a little bit hotter, but that's a personal preference. But I've got my thermometer. I'm going to check the temperature, and it is around about 22, which is fine for me. But don't be afraid to have a bit of an experiment, see what's good for you. So, I've got my stopwatch ready to go on the wall. Pour the developer in, 7.5 minutes. Here we go. Now, you want to put enough developer in so it slightly pools at the top, so you know that all the film is covered. Then put the lid on, and as soon as you do, start your stopwatch. So 7.5 minutes. Now, I start by giving it a bit of a whack to dislodge any air bubbles. Now, once you put your developer on and your lid's on tight, you need to agitate it, not shake it, just move it so it swishes about from side to side for 30 seconds initially, and then for 10 seconds every 30 seconds after that until you've reached your end of your time. Now, when you've come to the end of an agitation session, give it a little bit of a knock to dislodge any air bubbles, and then wait for your next bit. a cup of tea. But don't take your eyes off the clock. My last one now. So that's 7.5 minutes up. So I stop my clock and I pour out my developer. Don't throw it down the sink, you can use it again. So I'm going to carefully funnel it back in the bottle. Ready for another day. Now it's time for chemical number 2, my stop bath, which will stop the developing process. Start my clock again, and you just want to swish this around for about 30 seconds, so all the film's going to get covered. Once again, this can be reused, so funnel it back into the bottle. Last but not least is my fixer, the third chemical of the bunch, and that will stop all the developing process and just finish off my film nicely. So pour that in as usual, and the legend on the side of the bottle says 5 minutes. So it's time to start my stopwatch again. Five minutes up, I stop my stopwatch and I pour my fixer out. Now for the next step, we need just good old water. So I'm going to stick a hose in there and rinse it out for about 10 minutes. Right, my 10 minutes are up, so I'm going to turn off the water and see what I've got. Okay, so you snap open your tank, take out your reel, and here is the moment of truth. Snap it open. And there you go, a reel of lovely, lovely negatives. Now you get your squeegees, give it a good squeege off, get all the water out there. Now you can get some anti-static coating to put on there, and that just helps you avoid water spots, but it's not entirely necessary. Now all you need to do is hang them up somewhere, put a weight on the end like a bulldog clip so they hang out nice and straight, and just wait for them to dry. Right, so that's pretty much it. Don't forget, you'll need 3 types of chemicals: developer, stop bath and fixer. You'll need all the equipment that you've seen here today. Don't forget to pay attention to timings and how much you've got to dilute it by, and you really can't go wrong. Hope you've enjoyed this, and don't forget to tune in to stuff.tv for more how-to videos. Bye bye.